So this girl went to a hotel to meet a young guy she had met days before, and she did not go empty-handed. She went with a bottle of wine. What does this mean? Does this mean she's a hookup girl, or does this mean there's a chance she liked this guy? However, it did not end well for her. It pretty much ended up with her being found dead, wrapped up in the bed sheets and kept under the frame of the bed. The story of 22-year-old MMM Deborah is one that is currently going viral, and is one that a lot of young girls need to pay attention to, because the tricks that these demons are coming up with is becoming too much, and it's becoming too hard to keep up with. Deborah was a student of UNA, University of Nsukka in Enugu State. It is said that she had other siblings in the school and was supposed to have graduated in 2024, but somehow had an extra year, which made her stay a little longer. However, in June of 2025, she was due for her clearance, and she came to school to finish up her clearance. And within that period of time, it is said that she celebrated her 22nd birthday. Somewhere around the 12th, 13th of that same month, June. It is said that on the 14th of June, 2025, she met a young man by the name of Emmanuel Gambo, who is a 200 level student of that school, and a young man from Kogi State. There's a chance that they may have met days before. There's a possibility that they may have met probably from her birthday, or probably way before then. And there's also that possibility that they had texted. However, on that said day, the 14th of June, Emmanuel escorted her while they were coming out from what is believed to be a work date or some kind of a casual hangout. And Emmanuel escorted her back to her lodge, and somehow, some way, it felt like they had a connection. But since she maybe was sharing the lodge with friends or siblings, they decided to go to a hotel. Emmanuel went to the hotel first, and it was said that Deborah joined him. She came with her pad, a few of her belongings, a mobile phone, pretty much getting ready to spend the night with this young man. And some sources say that she also went with a bottle of wine. And this would be the last time anyone would see her alive. Days would pass and nobody would hear from her. Her siblings, her parents could not reach her. This is a young girl who had gone to do clearance, and somehow, some way, she had gone missing. Eventually, a police report was put on her name, and the police quickly identified her description with a dead body that was said to have been found in a hotel weeks back. Apparently, the hotel that she had gone to lodge in with Emmanuel ended up finding her body a few days after she had come to lodge. They pretty much realized the foul smell coming out from the room. This was days after they had lodged. They investigated the smell and found her body wrapped up in a bedsheet and tucked under the frame of the bed. So this is something that they would not have noticed. This is something that they would not have known unless somebody went there to search, or unless the smell started indicating that something was wrong. And that was how they were able to discover that the body was tucked under the frames of the bed. And at this time, they could not identify her. Pretty much 3-4 other people may have come to lodge in that room, slept there, and not realized that there was a dead girl under the bed. And they reported their discovery to the police. And since then, the police have been trying to understand who this unidentified young girl was. So when the family of the girl came to the police station to report that Deborah, their daughter, was missing, gave a description of her, they were like, "Oh, chill, we saw a body at the hotel some days back. Come identify if this is the girl you're looking for." And that was how the family of Deborah found out that their daughter had been brutally murdered by an unknown person. When they were trying to investigate and trace it back, they realized that the name given by Emmanuel to lodge that hotel may not have been his real name, because they couldn't do anything with it. But here is the thing, and this is where they usually catch these people. He went on stealing her mobile phone, her pad, and some of her belongings. The rest of the belongings that he could not do anything with, he threw them out of the window of the hotel, pretty much dressed up the hotel like nothing was done, and left the hotel. And that's how he escaped. It's one of those 15,000 naira a night hotel, basically. So there wasn't any CCTV footage to show that she walked in with this young man. However, he being in the possession of her mobile phone pretty much was what helped the police to trace it. They were able to trace the pad, the phone number, and I think the IME number of the mobile phone, and they finally got to Emmanuel. and he was picked up and asked to explain how he got a hold of this young lady's pad and gadgets. And that was when he was pretty much caught and arrested to be the number one suspect behind the killing of Deborah Ememe. But here is the thing, when he was caught and arrested, he was asked to explain what happened between he and Deborah. And this is where the story pretty much starts to get scummy, because Emmanuel in his confession said that yes, on the 14th of June, a day or two after her birthday, he hung out with her and escorted her back to her lodge, was eventually able to convince her to follow him back to his hotel room, which some sources said he even borrowed like 3,000 naira from her to complete the hotel room. That the aim of the hotel booking was for them to hook up. That Deborah was a hookup girl. Deborah was a prostitute that he was able to toast and was able to convince to follow him to the hotel. And that when they were in the hotel, they had sex the night they got there, and in the morning they had sex again. However, he claimed that somewhere along the line, Deborah started demanding for 15,000 naira extra because he had paid her 5,000 naira the night before. But when Deborah in the morning time of the 15th was demanding the 15,000 naira extra, he and her got into an argument. One of those arguments where this is not what we agreed, this is too much, I don't have that money. And Deborah basically, like you would imagine a sex worker would do, give me my money now, you do me this, you not pay me, I'll go disgrace you today sort of situation, the way we see it play out in Nollywood movies. And that was what Emmanuel was claiming happened between he and Deborah. And so he fought her and they fought, and somewhere along the line she died. He did admit to strangling her during the fight and did not realize when she gave up the ghost. Then he had to use the bed sheet or the curtain, something around the hotel premises to wrap her up, shove her under the bed, and escape back to his lodge in the school. Basically, because some sources said he's not even in the school. Some sources said he's not even a student, but he was caught around the school premises, according to some sources still. It was also said that after he killed her, he stole her iPad, collected a bottle of wine that she brought, a mobile phone, threw some of her belongings out the windows, and took the ones he would probably need to sell along with him. That sounds like a robbery to me. Eventually, Deborah's friends got to hear that they've got the guy who may have killed Deborah, and they learned that it was Emmanuel Gambo. And to them, he sounded familiar. He looked familiar. And when they heard that he was going around saying that Deborah was a prostitute, a hookup girl, a girl who wanted 15,000 naira a night, the friends had to debunk it, because they were like, that is not true. That Deborah actually had told them of a guy that she had recently met, of a guy who is toasting her, of a guy who has been nice to her, of a guy who's seen that, likes her and she likes back. And they all believed that that guy was the Emmanuel Gambo. So how come the friends of Deborah remember him differently? And Emmanuel Gambo is out here saying that Deborah was a prostitute he picked up from the streets and brought to his hotel room. It got even worse for Emmanuel when his own neighbors recalled that they have seen him with the same Deborah in this compound before, that they have seen Deborah with him before. Another of Deborah's neighbor also mentioned that a taxi did come to pick Deborah the day she left the house. So with all these pictures and all this narrative and all these versions of the story coming up, one thing is for a fact: Deborah was not a hookup girl. Deborah was not a 5K a night girl. Deborah was not a prostitute. Deborah actually went to a hotel to meet a guy that she thought liked her. And that was why she went to the bottle of wine. Because what kind of a prostitute will go to a hotel with a bottle of wine to collect 15,000 naira a night? That doesn't even make sense. Apparently, it's clear that Deborah met a young guy, and the guy pretty much swayed her, convinced her, and was nice to her. These are some people's love languages, and she fell for it. But here is the thing: why did Emmanuel kill Deborah? Why would you want to do that to a girl who seemed to like you, to a girl who even helped you with 3,000 naira to book the hotel that you ended up killing her in? It's one thing. Some people are confused with why he would do that. Some people are even believing that no, she's a hookup girl. But if everyone else, her friends, his own neighbors are saying that they've known each other, they've been talking to each other, they've spent time before that 14th, that was not the first time they were meeting, because he was trying to paint the story as though that the 14th of June, the day he picked her up to the hotel, was the first time he saw her. But narratives and people's recollection of the whole events have proven that these two people know each other. So why then, assuming they know each other, would he want to kill her? It wasn't for money ritual purposes, because they say her body parts were intact. So why did he do it? Is he a serial killer? Because to be honest with you, it would make sense if his narrative was true. Because we've seen that narrative happen a few times, where a man and a prostitute go at it because of they don't agree on the price. So many girls have been killed that way. So I'm not surprised he tried to play that game. But now that we have seen that indeed they know each other, indeed she came there because she liked him, so why would he do that? This is one simple thing, and that is because he wanted to rob her. He was an armed robber. He is a thief. He saw her, saw her gadget, saw that she lived a lifestyle, and wanted what she had. It's called armed robbery. It's called robbery. Some sources believe that he may have woken up in the middle of the night. This is what I suspect. He may have woken up in the middle of the night while they were sleeping and tried to pick up our mobile phone, our pad, with the intention of running away. Because this is the most Abuja thing. Sorry to say, my Abuja people don't get offended, but we've seen this happen. This happened a lot in Abuja. This is the most Abuja crime ever. This is a typical Abuja crime, where the young man goes to a hotel, kill a girl just to rob her from a mobile phone, 10,000 naira, a ton. They don't even transfer money. It's just what the prostitute have in that moment that they will take. So if she has like 500 naira, they will take it and go. As long as they will take a mobile phone or something they think she has of value. Because they don't take organs. They don't do organ harvesting. They don't do ritual. They just pick up whatever the prostitute have and leave. That is how you know that this is a typical Abuja crime. Because this young man went through hell to toast this girl, all with the intention of robbing her of her pad, mobile phone, and whatever money she had with her. And that is why he did it. Because why else would he have done it? Because, like I was trying to tell you, there is that chance that he probably did not want to kill her. He probably wanted to rob her and run away, because the killing is basically extreme. Again, this happens often. When he maybe had woken up in the middle of the night to try to pick some things, Deborah woke up. Deborah saw him. And this is where you get your fight. This is where the big issue happens. This is where you're meeting the devil for the first time. And that is where he would have to do what he had to do. Because that is usually what happens. A young man will go to a hotel with a girl with the intention to rob. Girls do that too. They want to rob the man. Good. But during the process of the picking of her gadget, thinking she has slept, picking up the phone because he may have done it to multiple girls and he got away with it, Deborah probably wakes up, catches him, and is like, oh, what are you doing? Are you trying to steal from me? And then there's a big fight, and then he strangles her, and then he gets away with it. Because if he doesn't do that, she will scream, she will yell. They will arrest him, they will hold him, and he will be disgraced. So he knew his tactic is at stake. And so if indeed this girl was an innocent girl who pretty much just went to see a guy she genuinely thought she liked, that is the most possible scenario that this is how she was murdered. He was trying to rob her, she woke up, caught him, and then he had to fight her and kill her. So basically, if you have a young girl who is in school, they got to know the story, because the obvious ones are very easy. It's easy to tell a girl, oh, don't go out with a stranger, know a guy. But these days, some of these guys will chase a girl for so long, all with the aim of actually stealing an iPhone, all with the aim of stealing the laptop, all with the aim of just probably stealing her car if she has a car, all in the name of stealing her Brazilian wig that cost her. That is what I need some people to understand now. And it's sad. It's unfortunate. Let me probably use this opportunity to tell the story of a movie that I saw that pretty much has this narrative. There is this movie, Killers of the Flower Moon, that I saw last year, and it made me realize that, boy, a man, some men can be a type of way. This movie is just basically the same narrative. White men go after these brown women, these Indian American women. But the main plan from the get-go is that this whole group of white men have all actually sat down on the table to find a way to infiltrate this community so that they can have access to the oil, to their wealth, to their riches, and to their inheritance. And they start sending up these their young white men to go and, toast these women, make them fall in love, get them interested, marry them, have children with them, and then kill them. And that is the way these men eventually inherit their wives' lineage property. And this Killers of the Flower Moon is one movie that I was like, when I saw this movie, I was like, are you kidding me? It shows you that men, and it's based on a true life story. How can a man actually chase a woman for 10 years? And from the beginning of you toasting her, you knew that you were going to kill her. That goes to show a lot of people that you got to be careful. It's only God at this point that can help us, because some people will come into your life and take their time to show you love, show you care, gain your trust. From the get-go, it's not as if their mind changed along the line. It's one thing if they were in love with you and somewhere along the line they changed their mind. From the get-go, from the day they are meeting you, from the day they are saying, hi, you're beautiful, you're lovely, it is their goal and their dream and their aim to kill you and take your wealth, take what you have, take your possession, take your belongings. And that is why when it comes to this Deborah story, I believe it. He may have used this tactic before and it worked. Toast the girl, get the girl to trust him, go to a hotel, steal her phone and then vanish, basically. And that's it. Unfortunately, Deborah caught him and then he had to kill her. That is just unfortunate. So, dear young ladies, those of you in your teens, coming into the dating world, those of you in your early 20s, those of you coming in trying to boy meets girl, girl meets boy, falling in love, be careful. Be careful. Some of these people have eyes for property. Once they know you're a rich kid or you are doing well for yourself, you become a target. I don't know. We just have to be careful. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on the notification button so whenever there is a new video, you'll be the first to get notified.